Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cozy Acres. It's been a little while since I've posted anything. We've been pretty busy around here, uh, but I want to give a quick rundown of what we got going on. Uh, been busy on the inside of the house instead of the outside, so a lot of the garden has overgrown. Weeds are going. So I want to give you a quick rundown on everything, and we'll see what it all looks like. So here we go. So here we got the two olive trees. Amazingly enough, they're starting to both recover, which I'm quite surprised. The mint has gone completely out of control, so we're going to have to cut it back. We're getting close to doing that. The greenhouses have been doing pretty good for the most part. We've didn't have to touch them too much. We've got the roses are all looking pretty good, and we got our next year's strawberries put in, and they're starting to do really well as well. They're starting to grow. But yeah, that part is going pretty good. The onions, we've already harvested the onions, and now we have some stragglers over here, some clumpings, and then we have some stragglers over there that we need to do. And then I need to weed out the Egyptian crawling or wandering, excuse me, Egyptian wandering. The lemon balm needs to be done, but um, we've also got some artichokes that when we first bought them, the missus had bought them with already the artichoke on it. We've harvested the artichokes, and now we've got them coming back. But yeah, the olives are doing pretty good. As you can see, they're starting to flower. Of course, it is August and it's way late in season. These trees are young and been beat up pretty good, so I'm hoping for a recovery. Dogwoods are all looking pretty good. These are the yellow dogwood. And then I have another dogwood sitting right there. Um, that one is a pinkish color. And then, of course, we've got the big red one right here, and it's doing pretty good. This area we're going to end up putting in a chicken run, but obviously we need to cut down the mint and the peppermint. I think peppermint's over here, and then the pineapple mint, or actually, I think it's orange, maybe. Yeah. Um, the apples are doing really well, surprisingly enough. From Spitzenberg, we got some apples on here. They're all doing really well there. Kind of hard to see, but they're growing. I left the last video I did, I shown. Um, I lost the video that I actually cut, but I left the verticals on these guys right here. We'll eventually get them trimmed down. The Scuppernaugs and Mascodons are doing their thing. Um, no fruit this year still, but who knows? One of these days we'll get something from them. They look pretty nonetheless. In here, things are looking pretty good. We've got the tomatoes, and this was the whole reason for the um, greenhouse, was to be able to grow tomatoes, and we're doing pretty good. Then we got green beans over here, and then we got the peas. We don't even talk about the peas. And then back there in the back, we got some sacrificial um, cauliflower and broccoli. The slugs have managed to find that area back there pretty good and has taken it out. We have two Meyer lemon plants there and there. They took a good beating earlier, and we decided to put them down here a little later into the greenhouse. They're doing some recovering. That one here still has some lemons on it. This one over here had lost all of its lemons, but the growth is starting to come back up. If you can see down in through there, there you go. Much better. Anyhow, so it's doing pretty good. Now let's walk on around to our once pathway that was not so blocked, that is now blocked. We got comfrey all around and through here, all the way. I mean, we got all the way around comfrey. The butterfly bushes are pretty good. I'm going to need to start trimming them. The cardoons, as you can see, they're up real tall. They're starting to bloom, if you can see. Got some beautiful blooms on them. But we'll get those things all settled up and trimmed up. The one thing that I'm really happy about is my lilac bush, which needs some serious cleaning, but it is right in here, as you can see. It's grown quite a bit. I think it's grown about a foot this year. Black elderberry right next to it. And then we just got done harvesting most all of the gooseberries off of this gooseberry plant. And amongst that is some Ann raspberries. The episode of me showing the beaver had ate our our pear trees. Noticing down here, our pears are starting to come back there and then there. So we'll have to redevelop a new leader, and then I'll trim off all of the other quote unquote water spouts. We also have to do some weeding back here. This was the garlic patch, and so now we got to get this all completely weeded. The quince is doing pretty good. The eucalyptus is doing very well. We're going to get quite a bit of material off of it again this year. And then, the rest of the yard, we still got a lot of work. The dahlias are starting to pop. Look at this. This is just absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful. I do believe that's the Akita, if I remember right. It's been a while. But yeah, gorgeous looking dahlia. Bee balm is on its out. But that right there, we started with one cabbage, and that was it. Now looking at it, it's grown pretty good. I gotta clean out the filter, but it's doing all right. But anyhow, what are the majority of the day? Look at the Astabil, however you want to pronounce it. Just take a wild guess. These peas we're going to leave over here and use them as our seeders. So we'll let them just grow out, pot out, and dry up, and then we'll collect all the seeds and use them for next year. We had one back here in the back, squash plant, rot at the base, and it broke off, so I lost one there. But we still have one here. We have one in there, and there's another one buried inside up there. But this is what we're going to tackle today, is get this all cleaned up, get a lot of this weeds out of here. If I have time, I'll do some trimming to all of the comfrey all the way through here. And the butterfly bushes regain our pathway again. Back here, yeah, it's a mess, folks, a mess. This one right here just doesn't seem to do well right here. So this fall, we're going to remove it, and I'm not sure exactly where we're going to put it. The serviceberry is going to need to be trimmed down this year. So fall and winter, I'll trim that one on down. The 5-in-1 apples, they're getting loaded and heavy. As you can see, there's a bunch of apples on this tree, no matter where you're looking at. So, good deal of apples. I'm going to have to start making sure that these things are netted up probably. I wasn't worried at the beginning about worms or anything else, but some of these are being pecked from the birds, and also I do believe they're starting to get the worms. So we'll clean them up. The maple vine, she's doing really quite well. We're filling in. I'll have to get that weaved in through there, but that'll come down the road. And again, here's another squash there, and another squash there. And believe it or not, inside all of this mess, there's also some horehound. As you can see, right there is a horehound. We got another horehound like right there. And then this one right here is a horehound. And there's supposed to be some more back in there. And then also along back in here, there's a bunch of things with horehound. So we're going to have to be really careful when we weed this and make sure the kale is going to get thinned out. Good Lord, we got too much kale. And on around we go. The fig is doing real well. It's recovering from many years of attack. Hopefully I'm just going to leave it be, and I'm hoping that it'll start producing something. We had one on it early this year, but it fell off. I don't care. It's still in major recovery. Anyways, all of the blueberries, we all got something off the blueberries, and they're done. We did move. I think I made a video on that, but they were right here where these two African daisies are. Those African daisies were actually back up here somewhere, and we moved them to right here, and then removed the dragon plant right here. Basically, I do believe it's Japanese knotweed. I think that's the term, but you got to, be careful because people freak out when you plant knotweed because it's supposed to be invasive. With this plant here, we've kept an eye on it and watched it. Back behind that is that's this green plant right here. That is a carnelian. Excuse me. And then back behind that, this plant is Wigelia. Yeah. And then, of course, back here we have the peach tree, and then we have a lemon verbena right here. All of this still needs to be weeded. We have a purple hydrangea right there. Rhododendron right there. And then we have some deep purple rhododendrons that go up around and through here that we need to still clean and go. I need to clean all of that back area back there. The kiwis, the male bloomed, female didn't bloom. The beaver took out my other female. It's recovering. So nothing there. We've lost pretty much everything. Or actually, I wouldn't say lost, but we still haven't garnered any fruit back there. I'm sorry. All this back in through there. The hydrangeas, this guy here is doing really well. She's liking where she's at. This one right here, and the sweet peas, another hydrangea. This one right here is spindle. Shoot, I can't think of it now. And then yet another one, hydrangea. And then this guy right here, this big old bush, that is a California lilac, and I will do some trimming on it. We don't want it to get too crazy. I want it to be a nice bush and still look kind of, free forming, but we're going to have to put some order to it. All of this forward area right in through here is all going to need to be weeded. And then, of course, the sage, which right there, all around it's going to need to be weeded. Lemon balm, the daylilies are done. The blueberries are done. As you can see, there's a bunch of borage in through here. We let that really go. It reseasons itself because we really enjoy it. We use it quite a bit. Let's see what else we got going on in here. A lot of this stuff is already, the season's gone going, but you can see there. We got a bunch of places. It's all the columbine, and it's slow to grow. We've had pretty quiet, mellow, not so hot of a summer, unlike the rest of the state. This is why the coast is the way it is, and why it's a lot more difficult for us to grow anything because it is such temperate temperatures. The pentamon right here, it's doing all right. It's growing. We got a couple little salvias there. We got green chives, and then behind it, I can't remember the name of that one. And then there is some more hummingbird plant. Also, right back here is a hummingbird plant, also known as catmint. Not the same as catnip. That's a different plant, and we don't have none of that here. Although I would like to, but I don't know if I want all the kitty cats to come around here, especially that cougar that likes to show up every so often. That's one cat I would prefer not to have. Here, echinacea. We got some in the back there that I'm just going to have to move. I thought they were going to do well where they were when I moved them. I'm going to have to move them yet again, so that's going to stunt them as well. And then, of course, as you can see, all of the forage. And then another, here's the hot lips, salvia. But anyhow, so a lot of weeding to do, as you can see, just weeds out of the blue. Strawberries that are not really producing, but I'm looking at them, and somehow they have managed to actually pollinate. I'm quite surprised with that. Those are pine berries, and for the longest time, they were not producing anything. They were sterile, from my understanding, because they didn't have any companion in. But I think they just might be getting pollinated from the strawberries that we have up there. We got a row of strawberries up there, and those up there are the sea breeze, and those are just absolutely fantastic. But check this out. This is all right. What do you know? Oh yeah, I'm quite tickled with that. Interesting. We'll have to keep an eye on that. And then you got a honeyberry right next to it, and then I got a honeyberry over there, and then back there is a honeyberry, and then over there is a honeyberry. In between all of these other blueberries. Um, so, anyways, folks, I'm going to transition over to weeding and try to get this day going. We did weed all of this area. There's the big old pile of weeds that I pulled out of there, and then here's the other big old pile of weeds that I pulled out of there. I needed to thin it all out. We got it thinned out. This right here, this row right here is all of the potatoes. It's time to dig all of those up. I'm going to thin this up, comfrey patch over yonder, and get that all done. I left the nasturtium alone. We like popping that out and just we eat the flowers and the seeds. We pickle the seeds and make kind of like a pseudo oh heck, now I can't even think of it. I honestly can't think right now. Anyways, we did lose a couple of squash. We had a squash plant right there, and this one here is doing pretty good. Hey, we have another one right here, and then another one right there, and then we have a little one right here, and then one back there. Of all of those, I reburied this guy right there because it's starting to get a little rot down at the bottom and too much moisture on that stem. I'm hoping it'll recover, root up some. We moved a lot of the kale out of here due to the reason of needing some air to get through here. It was just too crowded. We have some horehounds, so one there. We have one right there. And then on this side, we have a bunch. We got all of these that are left are all horehound. And I think that's it for the horehound. But anyhow, so we've got it managed a little better now. And I'm going to leave it the way it is. We'll work on it some more later. Meanwhile, let's go over here, excuse me, while I bump you on everything. And I'm going to trim this mess up. Let me go get some cutters. There we have it. A pile of potatoes. Not bad. Okay. Now I'm done. Because now I got to pick these up, clean them all off, and get them drying and get them cured up so that way we can use them. Alright folks, so I lied again. We had planted some potatoes back here just for S&G. Completely unintended. Completely don't have it. Let me say this again. We never did anything. I didn't weed. I didn't tend to these. I didn't do anything. We just planted them over here and left them. This is like the least sunny spot in our entire property. It was a plant, forget, and just left. I'm going to turn up this row. Well, actually, there's 2 rows here just to see if there is literally anything in here. I'm not anticipating anything. I did see the plants grow, and then they did die off. And now it's just nothing but rows of weeds. There's 3 sets. There's one to the left, one in the center of this, and then you can't really see the other one, but it is back over that way, like way back over here. But anyways, I'm going to dig this up and see if anything turns up. So you can follow through. And the ones that are significantly small. Didn't even get a chance to really grow. I mean, if these were like fingerlings, I'd almost be happy with that, but these aren't. These are russets, and that's the result of not paying any attention, not getting any light, and the quality of the dirt. Not very good, but at least we got some. You can put these in there for like new potatoes. Make cream of new potatoes. I don't know if anybody's ever had that, but every once in a while as a child we would, and I didn't mind it. It wasn't so bad. It was kind of like a large chunked potato soup, if you can call it that. But anyhow, alrighty guys, I really am done now. So have a beautiful day.